for the women's all-around. Al Michaels reporting with Gordon Maddox in a great battle. Natalia Yurchenko leading after 2 rotations. And then a 3-way tie for second between Natalia Ilyenko, Ma Yan-hung, and Olga Bicharova. Now, on the floor exercise, Natalia Yurchenko of the Soviet Union, who is the leader after 2 of the 4 rotations, 19.70 total. So a key event for her coming up here.
And I guarantee you will enjoy watching this performance. This is the lady that I said earlier is possessed with a gift for movement. There's an elegance about her movement that is not studied. It's a gift, no doubt about it. Full twisting double, slight step backwards, working to very dramatic music. Whether or not she belongs here and whether or not she wins, we will see more of this young lady. A marvelous athlete. Comes another tumbling pass. Back handspring back through to a double back. And that was done with real precision. She looks to me like she's doing exactly what she was born to do. Belongs there. Coached by the same gentleman who coached Ludmila Tereshcheva, the great all-around champion from the 72 Olympic Games. His name is Rostorowski, a great hulk of a man. Another big tumbling pass, another double back summing, overturned just slightly. Mark my words, she'll get a reward for this performance. You're looking at a 9.85 bottom.
Natalia Yurchenko of the Soviet Union trying to maintain her lead in the all-around.
Yurchenko, a most dynamic tumbler. Watch this. Back handspring, back somersault, straight through to another double back somersault. Now watch this. Takes it up, makes a perfect landing.
And there it is, 9.85, as Gordon predicted. He said that would be the bottom. And it is, 9.85 for Yurchenko on the floor X. There's little Olga Bicharova, ready for her balance beam routine. The music in the background for the simultaneous floor exercise of another competitor. Bicharova needing a 9.95 to move into first place in the all-around competition here.
And Al, can you find a worse place to try to play catch-up than on balance beam?
And had a little problem there on the mount, too.
Slight problem. She's got a big problem beside her with the wild music from floor exercise. Got to distract her. Now, there's sort of a cheater planche. She wants that to look like a planche, but no way is that a strength move. If I were judging, it would be a deduction, which is precisely why I don't judge. Kicks to a handstand, front walkover. Full twister, nice little pirouette. I hope the music doesn't distract Olga as much as it does me. Back handspring, layout, back somersault, solid. She's almost fallen into the tempo of the music, you notice. Boy, it's almost impossible not to.
Well, that music accompanying Zoya Gronchava, who is performing on the floor exercise at the moment, she's out of contention. Bicharova has to try to block the music out of her mind and concentrate on the task at hand.
Oh, yes. Someday they'll give awards for the performances, for the leotard, for the music, and for personality. Double back somersault, great routine. She's not going to gain any ground there, Al, but she sure as heck didn't lose any.
And she'll stay very much in the thick of things with one event to go for her.
Now this double back somersault, again, is cowboyed as it was on the uneven bars. Watch her knees. Way up around her ears, but boy, does she get a solid landing out of it. What a phenomenal athlete Bicharova is.
Olga Bicharova with a 9.90. That's an exceptional mark under some rather difficult circumstances for her. And that mark is good enough to move her into a tie with Yurchenko for the lead after 3 rotations, with Ma Yan-hung right there in 3rd place and Lavinia Agaki of Romania currently 4th.
Some special Christmas.
Yurchenko ready, and now the floor exercise.
Well, it's really set up for a dramatic finish because Yurchenko is vaulting later on, and she is a very strong vaulter. Vicharova now has an entire floor exercise routine, and with a minute and a half out on the floor, there's an enormous liability for mistakes. I love to watch her. So expressive. Dances with her whole body, her face, her hands. Here comes a full twisting double back somersault. All right. Perfect. Well, part of the liability for mistakes is now diminished. Tell me, does she remind you anything of another Olga from about 1972? An Olga Corbett? There's a little of it in there, except this lady is a much better gymnast. But she's a charmer. And Al, she's been working on the audience all day long.
They love her. They love her, obviously, in Moscow. We saw her there last November. Yeah. And here in Yugoslavia.
You know what, Al?
Later.
I think she's for real.
Well, there was some question as to whether or not she was after last year. Some people thought it was a fluke, but hardly at this point.
Win or lose, she is a tough little gymnast. Double back somersault tucks. Not precise, but certainly not bad. I like her work. I really like her work.
And you have to know the crowds all over the world just love her. She's tiny, just 4 feet 8, 69 pounds, and with that face looking like a Cupid doll, wherever she's been, the response has been the same. So Vicharova, as we await her score, no doubt she'll put some pressure on Natalia Yurchenko, and a 9.90 for Olga Vicharova, just 1/10 from perfection. Now here's Natalia Yurchenko on the vault. A 9.95 would beat her teammate Vicharova.
And watch this. She just glides in, and she'll do a round-off onto the board, and then a back dive with a full twist off the horse. She overturned her landing just a bit, but it's such a pretty ball.
Now remember, she has 2 opportunities. Only the better of the 2 vaults will count. And with that 1 rehearsal behind her, I'm sure she's looking for a much better vault coming back. Now there's Rostorovsky, both her coach and Ludmila Tereshcheva's coach. And if my guess is right, he's saying, look, lady, you better hit this one.
Now, that's a good point, because maybe she can get her tempo down, the rhythm, refine it just a little bit, make the adjustment that's necessary. A 9.90 is the score. That in itself is good enough to tie her with Vicharova for the all-around lead. So at worst, she will tie Olga. And now one more vault for Yurchenko. The crowd whistling, a score coming up on a floor exercise for another competitor. Here's the second vault now for Yurchenko.
Same vault. Should be the same score. It was a carbon copy of the first vault. If she adds another 500s, it will be great fortune for her.
So Natalia Yurchenko, who's very present here was a subject of controversy, could very well wind up with a gold medal.
Look at it again now. Imagine what it would be like doing this back dive to the horse in order to take the full twister off of the horse. I think that's a phenomenal new vault.
Her score, a 9.9, leaving her in a tie with Vicharova for first place. 2 leading contenders for 1984 Olympic gold in Los Angeles. Lavinia Agaki finishes 3rd. Julianne McNamara and Michelle Goodwin of the United States finished 8th and 12th, respectively. And that's the story from the World Cup in Yugoslavia. Al Michaels for Gordon Maddox saying so long from Zagreb.